All right, everybody, before this episode starts, this is not a pre-show shenanigans. Obviously, I go to school in New Orleans. I've spent the last 4 or 5 years of my life in New Orleans. And before this episode started, I just wanted to quickly address kind of everything that's just happened in New Orleans. Obviously, we're not a political podcast, but for us, just with how close New Orleans is to this podcast, to everything that we do, to me, to Grant, spending time there, et cetera, the Tulane football. Obviously, just thoughts and prayers with everybody. I personally had people that were on Bourbon Street that night. I know people who were greatly affected. So we just wanted to put that out there. And there will be a GoFundMe page in the description of this episode if you guys choose to help out with that. But yeah, we just wanted to quickly address that before the episode started. Just, God bless everybody. I hope everybody's doing well, all the families, all the people that are hurting right now. Just be there for everybody else. So thank you.
Yeah, thoughts and prayers to everybody affected. That was awful news to hear. Uh yeah.
Yeah. But just make sure, care for those that are closest to you. You never know when the last minute's gonna be. So thoughts and prayers to everybody affected, even if you're not, thoughts and prayers to you, your family. And yeah, God bless Waterboy Nation.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Waterboy Podcast. Today is episode 285. And we have a week of meaningless NFL football games, except for one, to go over. We have a great recap of the college football playoff quarterfinals. First ever 12-team college football playoff quarterfinals. And let's just say your boy was present to watch a BTA in person.
Yes, he was.
And, oh my goodness, will there be a lot about that game in this episode? But what an interesting week of sports. I would say it's a weird week because last week we had NFL games throughout the entire week. All right, we had Wednesday Christmas games, no Friday games. Surprisingly, you would expect the NFL.
There was a college game on Friday. They'll go play when the playoffs are on. But hey, when it's I don't remember which bowl game it was. It might have been the Pop-Tarts Bowl. When that's on,
oh, they don't care about the Pop-Tarts
yeah,
Bowl.
that's on. They won't take the stage for that. But when it's a playoff game, they'll make sure that there's an NFL game on that at that time.
Yeah, I believe during the Pop-Tarts Bowl, we were just in the midst of Steelers Chiefs. So I believe when Cam Ward started to opt out of the second half, like Russell Wilson was driving, like about to go score and then fumbled on the goal line. So like still a good game. And yeah, I could see the viewership skewing towards Netflix for that one.
Yeah. I just whatever. There was some meaningless bowl game last Friday, and that's just the one time the NFL decided, you know what? Let college football have their moment. Not when there's playoff games or Pop Tart bowls. No, whatever bowl game that was, they can have it.
Yeah. I do think though, moving forward, I don't know. Well, the national championship is on the 20th.
Yes.
Probably is that a Monday? Is that a Monday?
No, that's got to be like a Saturday. I'll look right now.
They like
That
always play
is
the
a
Natty on a
Monday.
Monday.
That is a
Okay.
Monday.
Okay.
Correct.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on MLK Day.
Yeah. They always play it on a Monday. But yeah, I guess there won't be any competition for
Unless
that.
there's
But
a playoff game, but they play playoff games Saturday and Sunday, so I doubt it.
yeah. I forgot. I remember hearing before the season that there's going to be wild card weekend and playoff games, college football playoff games at the same time, but I don't think.
I'm assuming that's going to be next. That would be next weekend. So yes.
The Ohio State game's on a Friday though. Do they play a wild card game on a Friday?
Well,
I don't. I don't think there's actually going to
I
be
think they just do
competition.
Saturday. They just do Saturday, Sunday. At least
The
I
NFL.
think either last year or 2 years ago it was just Saturday and Sunday. Maybe they changed it this year. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I think they're playing both bowl games on Friday
That
for the semis.
for money standpoint, that makes no sense. But okay.
Yeah, no, I was shocked when I saw Ohio State on a Friday. I was like,
You're like, excuse
huh?
me?
Like, what? I'm not
Yeah,
sure
you
if
would
Ohio
think that
State's
they would.
played a Friday football game in like years. I could not tell
Probably
you. I don't
not.
think they haven't in my life that I can remember. So I don't. I
Yeah, I mean
maybe.
that it kind of that's questionable because people it's not like right now where people obviously were already off for the holidays and could travel. Like having a game played on a neutral site on a Friday is really tough.
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not sure how it's exactly they're playing out, but it's first year of doing it. There's already been a lot of mistakes so far,
Yeah,
but
clearly.
based on yeah, there've been a lot of mistakes. We larger lookout. Every single team with a bye lost
Did they?
their
Georgia
first game.
lost, Boise lost, ASU lost. Oh, Oregon. Yeah, I guess so. Yes.
So
Yeah.
now the narrative is the bye is too much time off.
Yeah, but what do
It
you think the
actually,
narrative? This is what I'm curious with you. Uh, do you think the narrative with Texas is Texas sucks, and narrative is ASU is actually better than people are giving them credit for,
I would say it is
or a mix of both?
a combination of both, but more so the Arizona State. I didn't
Yeah.
think they could
No, I know
hang
you
like
didn't.
that.
I was kind of,
I
I was,
I count them out so
I
hard.
know, I know. I said Boise was gonna get torched last episode. I think I was still kind of like ASU is gonna lose, but I thought it was gonna be closer than people were giving it credit for.
Yeah,
I
I
think I'm
was
on record
just
for that.
yeah, I would say I gave Texas a lot of benefit of the doubt. And well, this is a thing. Just going back a couple of weeks before Tennessee, Ohio State, like Ohio State, the way they were playing at that point, it was like, oh, I'm not that confident in picking them over Tennessee. But it was like the potential's there. Like if big if everyone can come together and play well, like they are a complete team. Ohio State's doing that. Texas, like the pieces are all there. The puzzle's not puzzling though. The puzzle is not complete. So that's the thing with Texas. I was kind of baking in, like expecting them to start peaking, I guess, because
Yeah.
I thought just playoff time, like they're going to start really going after it. That was a wrong prediction. Uh, they're not putting it all together. And now they have 9 days to put together their whole three phases
they
together
they will
against
have
what
to
looks
play
like
the best ball they've
the
ever
most
played.
horrifying college football team that the world has seen since LSU. So that's what it's looking like now. Uh, I believe Ohio State is open as a 5.5 point favorite. That spread has moved to 6 and counting. I think it'll be 8.5 by the time the game starts. Take that 6.5 now and run with it, folks. If you can get 6.5 right now, mortgage. Oh my God, the Death Star, the Death Star beam over Columbus. We've already blown up a planet. All right, we're looking at a galaxy now
What does that
to
make
destroy.
Michigan though? Is Michigan Luke
Um,
Skywalker in this scenario? Yeah, you walked into
yes.
that one a little bit.
No, yeah, they are Luke Skywalker, but I was explaining this to a Michigan friend. Uh, it's I'm actually very okay with the circumstances because Ohio State's about to show to the world how winning a national championship,
Well,
what should
let's
happen
let's clarify this
afterwards.
though.
Uh,
Um, so you're telling me they're gonna fire Ryan Day afterwards?
no, oh no, oh no, he's yeah. I mean, you can't fire him now. Yeah,
I mean, this is what I'll say.
he's
You
about to
you
40 piece the entire playoff field. Like
based
you
on
can't.
what we were talking
If they
about
were
earlier.
serious though about truly serious, they
Yeah,
would
they would
win the
fire him.
national championship. Ryan Day would actually just step down. Like he knows he would just step down. And like when Urban handed over to Ryan Day, uh, the video Ohio State posted, it was Urban
The
Meyer
video
playing
games, yeah.
NCAA 14. Yeah, I'm gonna need a video of Ryan Day handing the controller over to at this point in the screen, you just see a hand reach out, take it.
It's like
Uh,
one of those Marvel
it's a
post
big
credit scenes.
grizzly burly man, and you're just seeing both hands on the controller, just slowly pans up, and it's just Mike Vrabel.
Cuts
That's
the black
yeah,
immediately.
yeah, no,
Nothing
and
else.
he doesn't even say anything. Like it pans to his face. He doesn't even like look up or anything.
No,
He's just
it's.
intently staring at the TV screen because
Oh,
that's
I was
what
gonna
he
say
will
staring
do.
into the camera.
Oh no, he doesn't care at all about the video. That's he wants to show everyone like I'm here for business. This is a business trip.
Now
I'll
I
be
would
here for
laugh even.
4 years. It's a business
What if it
stop.
what if it panned up and it's just Cardell Jones and you look at the screen, it's 100 and whatever to 7.
That would be arguably the greatest video ever posted by an athletic social team.
Yeah, no, probably
Has
yeah.
nothing to do with Ohio State coaching or anything. You really think it's going to be, and it's just revisiting when Cardale Jones, like 100, well, put some respect on Cardell's name. It was like 142 points, not 107. All right. So put some respect on his name. He like 140 piece to kid. But yeah, no, that's his second greatest quote of all time. Uh, when he corrected the person, like, whoa, I didn't beat him 80 to 0. It was 136 to 0. So
Yeah.
get that right. Yeah, no, that's his second greatest quote. But no, Cardell is a legend. Quick, quick, quick observations from the Rose Bowl. Uh,
It doesn't
I
have to be
was
quick, but yeah, go
I
ahead.
was startled how many last name jerseys I was seeing. I was like, whoa, there's too many.
Team, like they just purchased jerseys.
Either just purchase or like custom made from years ago. But I saw so many, like the most common Oregon jersey without question, 21 James. The amount of LaMichael James jerseys I saw was unreal. I expected way more D'Anthony Thomas sixes.
Was it
Did
on
not
like
see
the
them.
older jerseys or was it like the new jersey and they
Still
got
new
it custom?
ones. Yeah. No, like I just think Oregon sells James 21 jerseys still. Like I think they just still do it. But that was without question the most popular name. Uh, the most standard jersey you would see though for the most part was just the one, just because Oregon. I mean, Oregon fans they 100% own on average the most number of jerseys than any fan
Well,
base
yeah, I
because they
mean
have
with
80
the
a year.
yeah, which
So
also all
be,
look clean. So
oh yeah, no yeah,
respect.
like hey, if I wish Ohio State had Phil Knight as our booster so we could have a million different uniforms. That's cool. Like that's literally a selling point. Like there was a
Literally,
recruit, a 5-star corner, Naeem offered. I believe also related to Makai Hughes. Naeem offered, who
yes.
was committed to Ohio State, flipped to Oregon, and then during the Rose Bowl, a current Ohio State high school commit who was thought was going to be teammates with Naeem offered, took a video of his coach directly speaking to Naeem offered, but it's a video to the public, just being like, better think twice where you commit. Decision you got to live with the rest of your life. And then the GA last seconds, just like, yeah, I think you should pick your NFL future over a shoe deal. So yeah, Naeem, I'm very interested what you thought of the Rose Bowl watching that. Him, Trey McNutt, very interested to see how they looked at that game and be like, oh my God, am I about to be barbecue chicken against Jeremiah for the next 2 years? Oh my God. Yeah, you are going to be. Oh, Jeremiah's looking at you, licking his chops. Dorian Brew, Trey McNutt, Jabbar Muhammad, double finger
Yeah,
lick after
get
that. Oh
if you
my
got a
God.
dynasty league right now, you better be collecting 2027 first rounders like it's the infinity stones.
Yeah, and if you are if you still have your 2027 first rounder, you should not trade. You should tank 2026. My God. Jeremiah Smith is the greatest football player I've ever watched in my life in person. What the hell? What the hell? What was I watching? And it wasn't like just the mosses. It wasn't just him making like Marv catches where he just goes up and mosses a dude. Like first play, he just houses a drag, or not even a drag. It was like a little play action behind line of scrimmage, little flat route, and just houses it casually. I'm like, oh shit, they are not messing around. Yeah, Chip Kelly. I was calling for his head after the Michigan game. Uh, Chip Kelly has drawn memes from the Ohio State fan base. I don't know if you know this, Everett, but
Mm.
he looks awfully similar to Baron Harkonnen from Dune. Okay,
Yes, yes.
and uh, the Baron Harkonnen memes from yesterday were only positive. It was like Chip Kelly right now, and it's Baron Harkonnen, like his like tar black goo pit, just like sitting there, just like bubbling, just like yeah. Chip Kelly is cooking up a 8-course meal right now. Oh my god. Uh, Jeremiah Smith is the greatest football player I've ever watched in my life. He is better than
How
Marvin
do how do
Harrison
you feel
right
about
now,
Ashton Genty?
bro. Ashton Genty doesn't even hold Jeremiah's jock strap. Holy shit. Okay. Uh, if Marv returned to Ohio State for his senior year, he's wide receiver too. Okay. Jeremiah Smith is so yeah. Marv can't do what he just did in back-to-back playoff game. Literally, anytime he threw him the ball, completion. Just it was automatic. I've never seen anything like it in my life. And they were all just like the craziest catches ever. Just so easy. Just on every Oregon dude's head. Just oh my goodness. There was a couple of Oregon fans right in front of me. Uh there was one bigger guy and then another guy with his girlfriend. After 60 seconds of game time, Jeremiah Smith had already entered the
Yeah,
end
they
zone.
scored. They already scored. They scored in a minute,
My
legitimately in a
big
minute.
man, my big Oregon man in front of me, sat down, did not stand up the rest of the game. But the big guy just sat there. He did not make a sound for the rest of the game. Uh, the boyfriend right next to it, he was still like not giving up yet. He was like, "We're all right, we're all right." Uh, then they go 3-and-out, and at this point, I'm in my own world.
Yeah,
I'm
you're
not.
you're in euphoria right now.
I like, but I'm so lunatic fringe. Shout out Kirk Herbstreit, who I also saw, by the way. He
Did
had the
you?
second largest entourage of the entire day that I saw. It was him and his dog, like two
Yeah.
security guards in front of him. The dog had its own security guard. And
Hold on?
then
Was the dog
his
security
son,
dog? Was the dog security guard another dog?
much bigger. No, 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 a much bigger man than
See,
Kirk's two security
well, I
guards.
was gonna say it'd be funny if his security guard was just like a massive dog, just
And
also
then
next to
behind
him.
him, I believe, was Kirk Herbstreit's son filming the whole
Like
thing.
we're talking like
Of
son
course,
that's going to Michigan, son.
no, 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 no. Son who I believe played under Dabo Sweeney at Clemson,
Okay.
graduated a few years ago. Uh,
Yeah.
Works at ESPN. That son.
Okay.
But he is closely following cameraman. But that was second largest entourage. Largest entourage I saw. I didn't exactly know who it was, but it was a group of like 15 dudes in suits walking to the suite press boxes, and I think it was film night. No confirmation at
That would
all,
probably add up.
but I thought it was Phil Knight because I'm like, why is there 15 dudes in suits? Like, what?
Unless there's a
Who else
random
could
celebrity
be here?
there,
Yeah, maybe.
non-zero.
But 15 dudes in suits. It's like I'm not. I don't know if like if Shane Gillis was there. I don't know if he'd have 15
Shane
security
Gillis wouldn't
guards.
have a security
No,
guy.
exactly. Yeah. So like I was like, I think it's someone. I think it's probably Phil Knight. Regardless, that has nothing to do with it. Oregon goes 3-and-out. I'm in my own world. I don't even care that I don't even realize there's other people watching this game. I'm just in my own world, and I just start screaming 3-and-out, 3-and-out, 3-and-out when Oregon goes 3-and-out. I expect while I'm saying it, I'm expect the guys in front of me to have some response because I'm screaming in their ears. Did not even flinch. Didn't even dare turn around to face me. To know what was coming. They go 3-and-out. The next boo is 14-0. It is. I have been in these seats, Everett, for like 8 minutes of time. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Like what the hell is going on? I at that point I was like jumping out of my seat. But at that point, I went into full like now if they lose this game, I will never be able to watch football for the rest of my life. We
Yeah,
need to win this game.
me and one of our mutual friends was watching the game together, and I think when they went up, it was like 21-0 or whatever. I was like
24-0.
24. I was like, yeah, if somehow they choke this lead, Grant might actually do some unspeakable things.
Yeah, and so because of that, that was going through my mind. Like my intensity did not let up when we were up 24-0. Now I was even more engaged. Like if they lose this game, I'm never watching football ever again. Podcast is ended. Like I'm retiring. Like if they lose this football game. And then it's 31-0. And then I'm sitting there just like I said it out loud, but I'm like, oh my God, it is 2020 Clemson all over again. And then Everett, here's great Ohio State fan detail. Guy sitting next to us was a dad, probably early 40s, late 30s. He had like a 3-year-old, 2-year-old kid. Uh, and his wife and his son were like first quarter, they were somewhere else. They weren't in the seats. And the whole time, this guy's just with us, like watching with my brother and I. And he's just sitting there, like, we're getting excited. I say it feels like 2020 Clemson, and he goes, yeah, I'll be honest, I'm kind of feeling a little 2015 Wisconsin. And that was Cardale Jones' first start when Ohio State 59-0'd Wisconsin to get into the playoff. And he started saying that. And then I believe Ohio State like punted the next rep. Nah, it was 34-0. But
Hmm.
something that wasn't a touchdown occurred for Ohio State. And the dude immediately just started listing off awful Ohio State chokes that he attended and just start going one by one. And I was sitting there just like, I like a little part of me left the stadium for every loss he brought up. Like some of these I was not alive for, and I
Yeah,
was
you're having
still mad
PTSD
that they
flashbacks of
lost.
watching those games.
And he just starts listing all these, and then he just starts listing blowout losses he attended. I'm like, oh my God. Like I felt for this guy.
Well, and
I
you're probably subconsciously like, why did you come to this game then? Like, why did you do that to us?
Oh yeah, I was like I was thinking that a little bit too, but 2-0 lifetime record in the Rose Bowl, now 3-0. So the good vibes on my end were all there. My brother's now 3-0 lifetime as well. So I mean, from
Yeah,
my
hey,
karma, I needed to be there. But he just starts listing off awful moments, and then the last part he says, and worse, my Michigan friends tell me that my son has never been alive for Ohio State to beat Michigan. And I almost cried for him, for his son right then and there when he told me that. When he told me that, like
yeah, no, then you're feeling for the
I
guy.
couldn't feel anything. I was just
That's
like,
also
dude,
just
what?
crazy to think
And
that.
that, so the thing is, until like, if you are like, I guess now, if you're like 7, 8 years old or older, like literally, like unless you're like 105. If you're in the span of like 104 to 8 years old, you have a lifetime winning record against Michigan as an Ohio State fan. Until this new age of kids.
Yeah.
Uh, we'll see what comes from that. We'll see. Because there may be a 4-year-old right now out in Dayton, Ohio, who is quite literally raised to hate Michigan. So
Born and bred.
when that guy becomes a Buckeye in like 13 years, he might be really amped up. But regardless, that was the greatest shit
Yes,
I've
that
ever seen.
2036 recruiting class is about to go dumb.
Uh, at 2040. I
You think it's
think.
gonna be 20,
I think we got to add a few. I believe.
15, 4, that'd be 19. Yeah, so like 2039,
Yeah,
twenty
those.
thirty eight.
Oh, they're gonna be animals. Oh my God, they're gonna be animals. Yeah. I just really quickly need to pull up just a quick little recap of this because there's some things I got to talk about for
Oh,
this
I know,
segment
I
here.
know.
But
Trust me, I know.
uh, I got just one last little general Rose Bowl thing. Oh my, it's the coolest shit. Like at 4, they have the game set up. So when halfway through the third, fourth quarter starts, the sun is setting, and it is just beautiful. It's the most gorgeous looking football thing you could possibly see. Uh, and sun goes down. I'm sitting there just like, this is quite literally when players say I'm going to Disneyland, this is Disney World with 5 Disneylands inside the Disney World.
That's
Okay,
why
that's
we
what it
everybody
felt like.
always talks about it. It should be the Natty. Like the Natty should
Yes,
always
it
annually be
should
held at the
be.
Rose Bowl.
Yeah, like it's just the greatest venue they have. I don't understand why they want to push it away. Well, the one thing I did find out though is that the reason why the Rose Bowl is the only New Year's Six bowl that will always be a quarterfinal is because of the damn Rose Parade. They have to do the Rose Parade on January 1st. And because of that, they want the Rose Bowl the day of the Rose Parade.
Los Angeles.
It's the
Oh
people of
man.
Pasadena. The city of Pasadena, they will not allow the Rose Bowl to be moved. Well, they will not allow the Rose Parade to be moved. That has to be on the first. And because that has to be on the first, the Rose Bowl game has to be on the first.
Cool. Put the Rose Bowl in SoFi. Let's do the Natty in the Rose Bowl.
Oh yeah, no, like literally.
Like I
But it's
just
just
in the
like
stadium.
it's the
Also,
greatest. It's
this
the
is all I'm
greatest.
saying. Hey, if um the at Falcons Stadium, if Mercedes Benz is hosting, I think 3 games, including the national championship this year, the Rose Bowl can host two. Yeah, you can
Oh
make a
yeah,
natty of the Rose
yeah, and it's also like the Natty's on the 20th. That's in 18 days. There are
Bowl. It does
no events hosted at the Rose Bowl, Everett, between now and the 20th. Could you believe
it
that?
does kind of take away a little bit of the sanctity of the Rose Bowl if they did that, but yes, like the
Well, I think
sacredness of the Rose Bowl.
in a way, it could elevate it if they get rid of the Rose Bowl and make it the national championship.
No,
They
I'm
could
saying if they
elevate
do
it.
2 games in there
Oh,
instead of
oh,
just the
yes,
one
yes,
Rose Bowl.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, yes. Then yes, they would do that though in the past, like Reggie Bush Rose Bowl, like or yeah, no, that year like there was a Rose Bowl, and then the national championship was just played at the Rose Bowl,
You're
and
saying
like the
BCS
year,
was?
yeah, and like the year Jameis won the Natty, that was at the Rose Bowl, but that wasn't the Rose Bowl.
Okay. Yeah, so then what are we
They've
doing?
done that in the past, but
CFP, what are we doing? What are we doing, playoff committee?
it's literally the people of Pasadena's fault. Like it's actually their fault.
I think we might need to start up a picket line, Grant.
Yeah, and hey, me and Pasadena people, we go way back from high school, so we got some beef stirring in the Dina. Not gonna lie, but yeah, the game itself. Okay, Jeremiah Smith is the greatest football player I've ever seen. He would be the first pick in the draft if he was eligible this year. Uh, he's unreal. He's a freak. Like, not lying when I say like Marv wouldn't hold his jock strap. Like he is the greatest dude I've ever. I
What
mean,
about Chris Carter?
but Chris Carter even admits he can't do what Jeremiah does. Jeremiah broke all of his true fresh and Chris
Oh, that is
Carter's
true.
true
That is
freshman
true.
records all stood. But Jeremiah broke them all, and he broke them all in less games than Chris Carter did. Like he broke them like week 5 of the season. It's like we're like 5 games in. You already broke these records that have stood for like 30 years. No, he's unreal. I've never seen anything like it. Like the offense has so many like great weapons. You know, you got Emeka Egbuka, you got Trevion, you got Quinshawn. You got guys all over the place. He's way better than all. Well, it's not even fair to like. It's actually disrespectful to Jeremiah Smith to try to compare them to him. He is that much better than anyone I've ever seen. He's the greatest Buckeye since Orlando Pace.
Hmm.
There's not much else I need to say about that though. Like you guys all saw it. Jesus, there's 2 more years of it. Imagine what he's gonna look like going into his junior year, Everett. Oh my God, what? Holy shit. Yeah, no, not okay. I believe today he would be wide receiver 1 on probably 20 NFL teams. Michael Pittman could not hold Jeremiah Smith's jockstrap today, right now. They said line him up. Oh, Michael Pittman can't do shit. He can't do what Jeremiah does. Yeah, no, he would be wide receiver 1 on at least 20 NFL teams, probably 27 NFL teams. But I'll give the NFL guys benefit of the doubt. I'll say only 20. He's unreal though. It's ridiculous. I see why Ryan Day fell to his knees when Jeremiah Smith committed and he was doing a press conference live when it happened. I understand why he fell to his knees. Almost had an urban heart attack. when that happened. Uh, but yeah, that's Jeremiah Smith. Next, Will Howard. And let me just say this moving forward, that is playoff Willie to everybody. That is playoff Will. Playoff Will Howard.
Not
Oh my,
William. We want to go.
via
You gotta be.
Mecca touchdown.
Yes, I did see that.
What the hell? Will what the hell was that?
He took
That
it. He took that Oregon loss personally. That Michigan loss personally.
yeah, the two Jeremiah Smiths on the outside, perfect. I was like, oh my God, I haven't seen a fade route like that since CJ Stroud at the Rose Bowl 3 years ago. I have like, what the hell? Like, he's hitting everything. Uh Unreal. Also the blocking boys up front. Oh my, Donovan Jackson, who's moving out to left tackle. Uh, Zero pressures, zero sacks, zero TFLs. Bottled up Mateo Uyungale and Jordan Birch. Uh, Jordan Birch, you just Keely Ringoed yourself, dog. You just went from first round pick to fifth, dude. Oh my God. Oh, Jabbar Muhammad, Everett. Pre-game, the Oregon fans shit talking, saying Jabbar's about to lock Jeremiah up. Jabbar Muhammad is now a practice squad NFL player because of what just happened. Jabbar Muhammad, I'm so sorry. We literally lost dude so many millions of dollars. Yeah, so many millions of dollars were lost on the side of Oregon, but on the side of Ohio State, though, a lot of money was made. Number one shout out right now, other than Jeremiah, Cody Simon, middle linebacker for Ohio State. He's a fifth year. He was a highly recruited four-star prospect out of Ohio. Didn't really get to start much because he had guys ahead of him. Stepped up and he had, I got the numbers, 11 tackles, 2 sacks, 3 TFLs, and a pass deflection. I believe he won Rose Bowl MVP. Cody
No,
Simon.
MVP was Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, they did. Yeah, it had to. Well, I think they do offensive and
They do
defensive.
offensive and defensive. Yes.
Okay, so he won
Yes.
defensive. That was it. But Cody Simon has played himself from an undrafted dude to like a fourth round NFL pick. Like, he has played himself into an NFL pick. And I asked me 5 weeks ago, I was like, yeah, maybe he can get round 7 somewhere. No, he's like round 4. I don't think round 3 middle linebacker shouldn't go that early, but I think he should go
Yeah,
round
I'm
4.
thinking. I'm thinking
Very
of
good.
Dorian. I think Dorian went round 4 after a Cotton Bowl win.
Okay, like I think that sounds reasonable, but like he's a guy that I can see
Hey,
him
just remember Jack Campbell
being in
went
the
round
NFL.
1.
He's just not that like he's not going to have crazy athlete numbers at the combine, or like he's not going to play it. He won't be. There's no way he's a first round pick. But very impressive. He's like kind of like the old reliable on the defense. He is never messing up. He is always doing his job. He's not going to wow you. He's not going to go crazy, but always just doing his job, doing what needs to be done. Cody Simon chat also Lathan Ransom. It is now 2 weeks in a row that Lathan Ransom has knocked running backs out of the football game. Okay, Dylan Sampson, he knocked him out of the football game. He also cracked Nico's helmet. And then he made God. Jordan, let me get his name, Jordan James tap out of the football game. Lathan is not even that big. He's like 6 foot, 195, 200. He smacks. Oh my God, he hits. And another thing during the game, because I was there, I could hear it. Like when Ohio State was on defense and Oregon ran the football, you can hear the pads smacking from the top of the Rose Bowl. Other way around, you hear the pads smacking because it's Quinshawn running over Jabbar Muhammad. They were just out physical the entire, like it was startling at some point.
BTA.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Get after it. I don't know. Hopefully the mic picks it up. Yeah, it's not picking it up. I'll narrate it though. Grant is currently whipping his chair with his belt. That is currently what is going on. Can't hear it, yeah.
Oregon fans were running their mouth for a month, 2 months straight. We're gonna win a national championship. My dad was telling me there was an Oregon fan next to him. Nicer seats, by the way. My dad was not seating with the plebeians like me and my brother, but he's up there. Nice box with an uh, Oregon woman fan, and like to her, she was like, Oregon, like, sir, I don't think you understand. Oregon's like like we haven't lost. Like we're not gonna lose now. We haven't lost. Like I don't think like it was a great season for you guys, but like we're gonna win the national championship. My dad said by 14-0, 21-0, or 24-0, 31-0, 34-0 in the second. Oh my, it was a funeral. I didn't know I was attending a funeral yesterday. Oh my God. I've never seen a belt to ass like that in my life. This is how you know it was belt to ass. Everett, guess how many rushing yards the Oregon football team finished with in the football game?
First of all, can you tell me how many times Dylan Gabriel was sacked?
8 times.
Dylan Sampson gets knocked out of the game 6.
The Oregon Ducks finished the football game with negative 23 rushing yards. They started the fourth quarter with negative 10 rushing yards. I remember saying, hey, Oregon's on pace for negative 13 rushing yards today. They finished that quarter with negative 13 rushing yards in that quarter alone. I'm not lying. Every single time Oregon ran the football, a freight train. Boom! Oh my God! Holy
How many booms on the boom meter?
A quad boom from Big Justice. All right, a quadruple boom. Okay, I've never seen anything like it in my life. I was stunned watching it. It was absurd. Dylan Gabriel looked like a JV football player out there. Like he was getting thrown around like a rag doll.
Yeah, and people keep wondering. They're like, "Oh my
draft stock
gone."
If he's in the NFL, if you thought Bryce Young was small, get ready for check down Charlie. Oh yeah, and he's never beating the check down merchant alligator. He cannot throw the football over 15
He doesn't have
yards.
arm strength.
He can't. Every single throw, he has to like Tebow corkscrew wind up and just duck, just like their football team, just shitty ducks all over the place. Awful, pathetic, embarrassing. I want to say this, the last general topic about Oregon. There's levels to college football, okay? There's blue bloods. You have your Alabama. You have your Ohio State. You have your Michigan. You have your USC. You have your Notre Dame. Maybe Texas is in there by nature, and you have your Oklahoma, okay? You have your blue bloods. You have teams that have sustained success since, I don't know, the 1930s. Teams that have sustained success for decades. It doesn't matter what's going on. The fans will stay forever, and those teams will always be very powerful when it comes
relevant in quotations.
Relevant. Very powerful in the general college football scenes. Then there's like a second-ish tier where you got like your Georgia, you got your Clemson, you got your I would have said Oregon, but no, we can't put them in there. But that might be a standalone tier actually. Just Clemson, Georgia.
Let me just do a little investigation while I'm just thinking about that.
Okay. But anyway, right now Oregon, they're quite beneath the totem pole.
Miami.
Oh yeah, Miami's there. Yes,
Miami's in there for sure.
Miami's
FSU, probably
maybe.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. But
Wisco?
No, hell no. In the like Penn State.
Oh, you didn't put LSU.
They're in that second.
Florida.
Not really.
Not in that. Not with that Clemson, Georgia.
No. Clemson's only there because of Dabo. too. Georgia's only there because of Kirby. Actually, Auburn's more
Yeah,
long
that's
term than
yeah.
those. But yeah, like Oregon, Tennessee, like those teams, they're like quite below that. Ohio State's about to like 40 piece everybody on the route to a national championship. Texas, Everett.
There's going to be
I have
unspeakable things
never
that
been
occur.
more excited. When I found out it's the Cotton Bowl in Jerry World in Dallas, oh, that made me even. We're about to whoop Texas's ass
And you
in
guys can get one
Texas,
of those
Everett.
rings like us.
We're about to whoop that ass in Texas. I want my own cowboy. I want my cowboy hat. We're about to whoop Texas. We're about to whoop Quinn Ewers' ass in Texas. Everett, I've never been more excited in my life. I am truly on the moon right now. And then we're not even going to address it much today, but Georgia lost to Notre Dame. You're telling me I get to 70 piece Notre Dame or Penn State to win. Is this Christmas? I get to 80 piece Notre Dame, Marcus Freeman, or I'd actually feel bad for Penn State. I would
No, you
actually just
wouldn't.
feel bad.
No, you wouldn't. No,
I
you
I think I
wouldn't.
would.
No, no,
Notre
you
Dame,
wouldn't.
though, I would take great joy in absolutely hammering them when that eventually
Yeah,
occurs.
Riley
But
Leonard didn't even throw for 100 yards today, Grant. He threw for 90.
oh, Edric Houston's gonna get like 4 sacks. Our true freshman's gonna be getting. Oh my god, CJ Hicks might actually start that game. We should actually bench guys for next year. No. Let's do our spring game for the Natty. Let me text some people.
Let
Actually,
Julian Sand start.
a billion. Yes, $1 billion idea. Let's get the. Can Devin? Can our can our high school recruits fake name?
Hey,
Oh, Tavian St. Clair is
Underwood,
Julian saying.
Underwood was practicing with Michigan before their bowl game.
They can practice, but like, can we start one of them?
Technically,
Would that
they're
count?
eligible.
Would that
Well, it's a
no?
bowl
It would
game.
not
It's a
count.
bowl
Yeah,
game, so
it
eligibility
would
doesn't
not count.
count. So technically speaking, they're on roster. Yeah.
Yeah, I think we should let Devin Sanchez get some PT in this one. I think Tavian St. Clair could. I know he can outdo Riley Leonard, so I just want to see it. I'm in. Like, I want to challenge now. I want to challenge. This is a little. No, I'm kidding. I don't want to challenge. This is the most fun I've ever had in my life. Oh my god! You know how great this like. This is how I would be if that field goal against Georgia win it. This is how I'd be right now. I know.
Yeah, you just have a stain on your resume right now, though.
True, but you know what? You know what? That happened. There's nothing I can do about it now.
Michigan fans will
Michigan
still hold. If
people.
you win the Natty, they will hold it over your head.
Oh no, they will. But to this, I'll say this: you guys, Michigan fans, you're about to see what happens to a true blue blood. What they do after winning a national. You're about to see what happens. I don't know who the recruits are going to be. I don't know who they are. Don't know their names yet. Some of them might be like 8 years old, but you're going to see one team now like move up a tier that I didn't even know was possible.
Yeah, and then you realize you're handicapped by Ryan Day.
Just against one team though. But the good thing about
Michigan
Michigan
matters the most.
True. The good thing about Michigan though is that like they win a national championship and then they go 7-5.
Still win a game.
True, but I compete for national championships every year for the rest of my life. We're gonna go to 14 teams soon.
Hey, I'll say
who is the one football team if the 12-team playoff existed for the whole four? Who is the one team that would have made the play? Can you tell me who that is? Oh, it's the Ohio State Buckeye. Yeah. So what you guys just did with the new format is you just made it so I get to be an annoying prick every single New Year's for the rest of my life. Ohio State in the first round, a home game. Well, moving forward, we're going to get a bye in the first round. SEC and Big Ten are going to get the 2 byes. We'll debate that on a different day, though. We'll do that in the offseason. But oh my god, like Ohio State's going to be in the playoff every single year for the rest of eternity, unless we get death penalty. Like that's the only way that we'd be taken out.
Caught giving a recruit a hamburger. It might be over.
Well, that's not the problem. But when you lie to the NCAA, act like you didn't do it for like a year and a half, even though there's pretty
Yeah,
clear evidence you did it,
actually, no.
some things can change.
Before we go into the NFL, because obviously we have to end with that. There's one thing that I do want to kind of go over. I want to pick your brain on, Grant. Um, so this is a prospective rule change to targeting. I'm assuming you've seen what I'm about to bring up.
Oh
Um,
yeah, Connor Stallion's
your
targeting rule
favorite
change.
Connor Stallion's targeting rule change. So
I actually think it's
there are
beautiful.
three tiers to this. Let me just get it out. There are three tiers to this. Okay. There is first is a 5 yard targeting penalty just for incidental contact to the head. Obviously, it happens. Two, 15-yard penalty, no ejection for leading with the crown. All right. Last one. This is like the flagrant level. Okay.
Yeah, like what
15-yard
you think of
penalty,
targeting.
15-yard penalty and
Yeah,
ejection for clear intent, launching and leading
which
with
is
crown
just
and
what
contact head.
targeting is
So
today.
the ASU Texas game, the end of the game, where there was a targeting no call that would have given ASU the ball with room to score, probably would have won that game, right? That I feel like is more of that second tier of targeting where he shouldn't get ejected. It's clearly he's leading with the crown. It's not necessarily incidental, but shouldn't be ejected. It's not flagrant. All
Oh,
right.
you're the Texas. Oh, that should be a tier one. It was face mask.
I
He
he
didn't
led with
lead
his
with the crown
crown
this.
though. I
No, he
Either
didn't.
way, I'm just
No,
as
he
a
didn't.
general as a general note, it's not to the level where they would enforce it where they typically would like, okay, targeting, we have to eject him now, all that fucking bullshit, right?
Yeah, like it's just crazy. Well, first, it's crazy you J players, but it's crazier that they have to like sit out the first half of the like. What are
No,
we?
see,
What are we
that's crazy. And
talking about?
I think
What?
you get into situations, especially in the playoffs, where you have referees who, depending on the team, obviously, really don't want to call things because one, they're either scared or two, they're like, I'm not going to be the guy who fucks them over for the next game. Like,
Well, yeah, and it's also just like there isn't a set form of college football rules for every conference.
no,
That's
there's not. Yeah,
how how that exists. I genuinely don't. I don't know how that is. Like
it makes
what?
no sense. It makes that's like NFL divisions having their own rules.
Literally, no, that's the only equivalent you can make. And it's just like if that was the case, like what are we doing? These are different sports, and it's true they are. I got a fun fact, Everett. Uh, there's no way you're going to be able to guess it. But the last time Jack Sawyer
Okay.
or a lineman blocking Jack Sawyer, the last time a lineman blocking Jack Sawyer was called for a holding was September 9th, 2021. That means Jack Sawyer has not been held, Everett, for 49 straight football games in between that.
Yeah, something tells me that that's not accurate.
Uh, this year, Everett, I want you to guess how many teams or how many holding calls have been called in favor of Ohio State.
I see the problem is I don't know if you guys get the calls or you get screwed on the calls typically.
Like, how many times has other teams been called for holding Ohio State players this year?
Yeah,
Is
that's what
my
I'm
guess.
saying. I'm saying I don't know if you guys typically get those calls or if they're like fuck Ohio State, I'm not giving that to them.
Yeah, the answer is zero.
Yeah,
Ever since
so
the
it's the
Bosa's and
second
Chase
option.
Young, you're allowed to hold against Ohio State. There's many clips. I remember watching it. Uh, there are Oregon tackles, like quite literally being coached at the end of the game. Dude, just tackle him. No flag. I'm like, hey, just because you're down 34-0 doesn't mean you're allowed to cheat now. That's not how this shit works. But you know what? To that I say, I don't actually give a shit if they're holding us. Uh, get home anyway, Sawyer. Do something, JT. Past 2 weeks before every opening Ohio State drive, I've
I'm
screamed,
sorry, real
do
quick.
something, JT, and he
Um
does something. So
Shane
do
Shane
something.
Shane Beamer was at the Sugar Bowl today wearing a Notre Dame gear.
God. Yeah, I kind of love that. I do kind of love that. And also the Shane Beamer, Brett Bielema. I'm not sure if you
I've seen
got to.
that. Yes. Yes.
Oh my goodness, college football. We might be back, guys. We might be back. But yeah, I'm trying to have another. You have another closing thought on this game or no?
Not really.
Or is this college
Mackay
football?
Hughes is still expected to tour Oregon this weekend, so there's that. Um,
Uh,
Unfortunate, but yeah, it's the only other thing that I really have.
yeah, yeah. This is amazing right now. Ohio State's about to just win the national championship, and I'm just here along for the ride, baby. Yeah, that was beautiful.
Yeah, I
That was
will. I'll
amazing.
be honest. Texas is going to get dog walked by Ohio State. I do think Notre Dame Penn State will be a good game, though.
Oh yeah, no, I think that'll be like, and I'm going with Notre Dame because I can't. James Franklin's the definition of a joke, so I have to pick Notre Dame. I don't feel great though. Like, hey, if there's one thing I'll say, indoors Penn State is a way different offense. When Drew Aller doesn't have shitty weather and he could throw indoors, like that's just another thing. I know Drew Aller's coming back next year, but like if Drew Aller gets drafted to a team that plays indoors in the NFL, I will be keeping no. I will be that's a bump. If he gets drafted to a team playing indoors, that's a bump. We'll see, but
Rams.
I'm keeping my eye on that.
Yeah,
Because
also, I
indoor
guess
Drew Aller is way different than outdoor Big Ten weather Drew Aller. He cannot throw a football in weather. That could also be a problem. Look out for that, folks.
yeah, that is a very large issue when it
But
comes to
he could be
NFL
like Kurt
games.
Warner. He could be like Kurt Warner, indoor track star.
Hurt. Well,
Kurt
yeah,
Warner, like
fair.
famously, is like all football games should be played indoors. I hate weather. Like that's
Yeah, he
him.
was
Yeah,
ass in New
yeah,
York, so
and
yes, yeah,
makes sense. St.
yeah,
Louis indoors.
yeah.
Greatest show on turf.
Um, yeah. I mean, that's probably everything I had for college football. There was something else I was gonna say, and I honestly forgot what it was gonna be. But okay, we can get in the NFL now. Um, so this is obviously week 18, Grant. The games essentially for most of these teams are quote unquote meaningless. Players do have bonuses, whatever, but from a fan perspective, you're benching guys. You don't really give that much. You don't care that much. Um, Although for some teams, it is meaningful, Grant, because those benchings are for the ones the either the a higher pick or save money, something like that. So I believe what the number one overall pick is between the Giants, the
Who hasn't? Well,
Patriots,
I think the
and
Giants played themselves out by winning last week.
I think they
Let
still
me check.
if they lose in New England and somebody else win, then they can get it.
I'm pulling up standings real quick. Uh, League.
I'm pretty sure
On.
what it's like them, the Jags.
Oh, it's still Giants. Still
I
Giants.
think
Last week didn't matter.
No, Patriots currently have the number one pick. I'm pretty sure because they have a tied record or something, right?
Yeah, Giants, Patriots, Titans, Browns, all 3-13.
I'm pretty sure currently the Giants have the four
Yeah.
pick. So I think New England is one, two is two is maybe Tennessee, and three is Browns, four is Giants.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the order is, but yeah, bottom of that draft, my goodness. Yeah, there are 9 teams with 4 or 3 wins in the
Just
NFL
an
right now. Is
absolute
that a record?
horrific season for most of those teams. Yeah,
Is that a record? I
it's
think that
gotta
might
be.
be. That's
That's
crazy.
bad.
Yeah.
Like there has not been. I feel like there's not been a more decisive line between good and bad teams than this
Oh
year.
yeah.
Like
Oh
this year
yeah.
is very, very clear on bad and good.
Yeah, I would say actually very clear distinctions between bad, good, and then Super Bowl
Great.
contenders.
Yeah.
Like all 3 tiers, there are clear distinctions. But all right, let's get into the last week of the NFL regular season. Okay. Starting off Saturday or first Saturday game. Largest, I believe the largest spread total, at least in this podcast history in the NFL.
Probably.
Ravens, 20.5 point favorites. I have never seen a 20-point NFL spread in my life. But Browns at Ravens, and then Saturday night, big time game. Bengals at Steelers. Also
It is
important
big,
to
yeah.
note. Also important to note that game uh, will be played the day before Broncos. So
Bengals have
Bengals
to
do
play.
have to play
Yeah,
for it.
they have to
So
care.
yeah, so that's gonna be great. Sunday early slate, last early slate of the year. Should let me see. Okay, 8 early games. We might have a great last witching hour of the NFL season. Panthers at Falcons, Commanders at Cowboys, Bears at Packers, Texans at Titans, and I believe a Davis Mills start. Uh, Jaguars at Colts, Bills at Patriots, Giants at Eagles, Saints at Bucks, and then afternoon slate. We got a 5 slate. Oh yeah, we almost get a second witching hour for
Yeah.
last window of the season. Chiefs at Broncos, Chargers at Raiders, Seahawks at Rams, Dolphins at Jets, Niners at Cardinals, and then Sunday Night Football, the biggest game of the NFL season up to this point, Vikings at Lions. All
Yeah.
right, picks real quick. All right,
Yeah, go ahead.
I have them all written down over here. Okay. Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, Commanders, Packers, Titans, Colts, Bills, Giants, Buccaneers, Broncos. I have to pick the Chargers, but I would strongly advise you to pick the Raiders this week. Seahawks, Dolphins, Cardinals, and Vikings.
All right, Grant. So just for everybody's reference, either way, Grant and I, unless we
The
legitimately
worst
go
I
0
can, unless I
16,
go, oh, well, if I go 0-16, I finished 64.8%. So I'm giving that 65%. So if I go over,
neither way,
I'm at
like
65.
either way, no matter what, Grant and I are both over 60% this season, which will be records for the podcast no matter what.
They will never be touched. We'll never have another year
This
with
is
8
it's the
teams with
wilt.
4
It's the
wins.
wilt line. It's the wilt line right now.
Yeah, it's like the inverse Mendoza line. If we're ever beneath 35%, oh, gotta end the podcast.
Yeah,
Gotta
yeah,
end the
no.
podcast.
But neither Grant and I will go below 60. The current difference between us, this honestly, this has been more of a pride year for the podcast and not really a race between us. But as it comes down to the line now, there is now kind of a mutual who's gonna win, right? So Grant currently has a 2-game lead on me. Grant, we have a 3-game difference. So it could be for everything. It could be for everything. Here are my games: Ravens, Bengals, Falcons, Commanders, Packers, Texans, Colts, Bills, Eagles, Bucks, Chiefs, Chargers, Seahawks, Dolphins, and Cardinals. So I have Texans, Eagles, and Chiefs. You have Giants, Titans, and Broncos. I partially chose the Chiefs just because I want to see the Bengals get in. Like I'm kind of just like manifesting, but yeah, no, 3-game difference here.
Okay. That Broncos one, I think it could happen. Carson Wentz might just say, I hate all of you. I'm winning this football game. So
I mean, look, I'll be honest. If the second stringers that start for the Chiefs go out and win, it's not like the Chiefs fans or Andy Reid's gonna be like, "Why'd you do that? Why'd you win the game? Like we need no, like if you did win the game, like they're probably obviously they don't want the Bengals in there, but like anytime you get to beat a division rival, you're gonna beat the division rival. It doesn't matter. You're beating the division rival.
Okay. Texans, Titans, we have different. Yeah, that one. Dude, Davis, Giraffe, Mills. I mean,
Mason Rudolph is the other quarterback.
Totally okay with that. I just can't.
Never forget. Hey,
so tall.
True. But he did win
tall.
that very last game of the season 2 years ago to move him back. I'm just saying. Hey, he's done it before.
Yeah,
meaningless games might be his like thing.
Very, very true. I just can't. His neck is too tall.
I respect it. Yeah, we're at the point of the season where it's not really even just vibes.
This is all vibe. Yeah, no.
It's not even vibes.
Random
it's
shit.
Just things.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
like
What
the
reasons do you
vest
have?
he wears pregame. No. Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
no,
there.
no. There's no necessarily any like analytics behind it because these guys haven't played.
Yeah, no, that one's a mess. And then what's our last one?
Giants, Eagles.
Oh yeah, that one is just like I don't I believe Kenny Pickett's out. Uh
Yeah, Tanner McKee.
Tanner McKee. Now here's Tanner McKee, I think might be the best third string quarterback in the NFL. He's still a third string quarterback though.
Daniel
Giants though
Jones.
are on to what's essentially their well, Drew Lock's technically the backup, but he was third string for a week. So you could say it's a third string versus third string game. You
Yeah,
can say that.
yeah. I think Tim Boyle's
Uh
currently their third string, but yes,
yeah, I could also just see though Brian Dable just being like he's getting fired, but he's coaching to like
not
have a
confirmed,
job.
but
He's
yes.
getting fired. He's coaching to have a job next year.
Now on the inverse, Grant, if he does have his job retained, if he for somehow is there, he's throwing that game. They're getting a higher pick.
Yes. But I don't believe that's going to happen. I
I'm
believe
just
he's
saying.
fired.
I'm just
And
saying if
because
that
of
is the
that, it's
case,
like a on your way out, spike the team. I'm winning this last
that's a
game.
Lovey Smith.
Yep.
I think
Exactly.
I think we would have heard more about Brian Dable being gone by this point, but obviously
It
Monday will be the
seems like it's
deciding
pretty.
factor. I feel like he's one of the guys that kind of isn't all as it seems.
Maybe like if Doug Peterson's still alive, sure.
Who knows?
I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
I was convinced he was gone after week 4. I'm like,
yeah,
dude,
yeah.
they're gonna lose
Dougie
seven
P,
straight.
Dougie P. I don't even know if he's getting fired at this rate. Like,
Yeah,
he
shit.
should
Like,
be.
yeah, I don't know. I don't
Like it's
know.
the
I
same kind of
thought I
thing where I'm
knew
like, oh, Kevin
how the coaches work.
Stefanski every year. It's kind of like, oh, Kevin Stefanski's hot seat and he stays every year, and
He's got to go.
but he's probably gonna
Yeah,
stay.
yeah, but he has to go. Zach Taylor too. Like, guys, come on. Like,
It's one of those things where they're like, oh, they finally were the guy who got us to the playoffs. We got to keep him like let him have the opportunity. They don't have quarterbacks, right? Let's finally get him that guy. And then
I hope AP stays in Vegas for a
oh no,
while,
he's
but
fired. He's getting
I
canned.
hope he isn't. I know he is, but I hope he
You
isn't.
know who I did hear was a potential replacement?
No.
Mike Vrabel.
Oh yeah. Well, I think every single open NFL job has a link to Mike Vrabel. Like,
I was telling somebody else about it, but I was like, yeah, Mike Vrabel probably will not go somewhere where he's required to take on a young quarterback. Like wherever he goes, they're signing an old guy. Like he's not dealing with developing
the only
a
thing I
guy.
think he would do though is Patriots to spite Belichick. That's it. Though.
That
That is it. Like when I was kind of like 3 weeks ago when I was on Team Vrabel at Ohio State, my biggest concern was like, if Patriots offer him, he's taking New England over us. Easy. Like he won't even think twice. So
yeah.
that's what I think. I think he's
Yeah.
100%. I think he has a lot more beef with Bill Belichick than, which might not even like really be beef, but more so just like
It's just that
ego. Like I want to
competitive
one
ego. You
up
want to be, yeah.
my
Yeah.
my coach. Yeah. So
Yeah. I I
I'm
don't know.
not sure if he's ever spoken to
I
Ryan
I
Davis.
heard
Like,
he was interested in Jets, Giants, and Patriots. Those were the teams I heard, and mainly he's like East
that
Coast, kind of wants to
sounds,
go there.
yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds right.
yeah. My expectation is, if he went to the
Maybe
Raiders, Sam
there's
Darnold.
no way.
Congratulations, you're the
I
quarterback
could
in Las
see him
Vegas.
actually making it work if he went to the Jags and do it to like spite the Titans, but I don't think he cares at all about, oh, let me get one over on the
No,
Titans. I
I'll be
think he's
honest.
like,
He's the kind of guy where I think he would do that just specifically to beat the ever living piss out of the
oh
Titans
yes,
every
yes,
year.
yes, but I don't think that hate is as strong as his Belichick motivation.
No, I don't think so. But I think if you don't get Patriots, because I'm assuming they're
Oh,
going to keep Gerard
sure.
Mayo, and the Jaguars are like, "Hey, Mike, you want to come down here?" You'd be like, "Yeah, tell me where to sign." Like,
Yeah,
does it include?
that's
I want all of my bonus money in beating the Titans. Nothing else. No Super Bowls. Nothing. Just
I
straight
would bet
Titans.
Mike Vrabel wants to be offered by the Titans so he can like publicly turn them down, have his agent do a big like Mike Vrabel has declined the Tennessee Titans head coach.
I hope he does that to the Bears because I know they're going to interview him.
Yeah, I saw that. I also saw Big Cat tweeted out Mike Fat Carthy linked to the Bears.
I might
I
cry.
it
I
would
would
be
be
the funniest
so
shit of all
happy.
time. It I want that for the just for the content
I did
so
also see
bad. Fat Carthy.
Brian Flores was connected to interviewing there, and that would actually make me sad. Like I would not be happy.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely see him getting another head
Yeah,
coaching spot soon.
I
So,
mean he will, but if it's with the Bears
oh
specifically,
yeah,
I'm not gonna
for
be happy.
any aspiring head coach out there, Ben Johnson, I know you're listening.
Don't do it.
Run,
Do not do it.
hide, but for your sake, Everett, if Ben Johnson goes to the Bears and when he fails, that for you,
That's
that
two
will be
birds
a
with one
great
stone.
day because first, now Ben Johnson, no threat to you as a Vikings fan. But second, you can confirm the Bears are unfixable as long as the
That
McCaskey
and
family owns them.
The Lions offense probably will be ass. So it
Yeah.
was bad before Ben Johnson was there. Jared Goff was not good before Ben Johnson was there. Then
Oh
Ben
yeah.
Johnson fixed him. So
The
I
Goff
don't know.
whisperer.
Yeah, I guess. So yeah, hey. But speaking of Lions, we got to get into the game of the year to this point, essentially. Um, I mean, I don't really know where to start. First of all, I just want to say this, Grant. This is good versus evil. I sent you the pictures of the uniforms. Grant, the Lions are doing a blackout uniform. The Vikings, whiteout. Purple helmets, whiteout. Lions, blue helmets, blackout.
Yeah, light versus dark.
Light always trumps, baby.
Catholics versus convicts. Screw it. Let's just
Okay,
say it.
was not thinking of that one, but okay. All
I'll
right.
be honest. I saw one Catholic just at the Rose Bowl. Someone just wearing Catholics versus convicts T-shirt. I'm like,
Oh,
all right,
really?
that's pretty funny to wear to this. Zero reference to the game about to be played. Uh, well, yeah, this is one thing I'd say. The Lions defense looks like Swiss cheese right now, Everett. They do not look great.
Yeah, they're
And
hurt.
we went over this the other week, but uh, you are ranking top categories in like every single O line, D line metric. I'll take a quick look at Detroit. Okay, Detroit, 24th in pass rush win rate, 21st in run stuff win rate, 12th in pass block, 16th in run block.
Yeah, I also
Uh,
will add
Vikings are top three
the
in
Lions
three
49ers
categories.
game was by no means like maybe there was half effort or something, but it was by no means a easy game for the Lions, which made me feel better. But also, they're playing on a Monday night. Vikings play on a Sunday. Vikings already know what they have to do. It's an in division opponent. Um, that game it was physical. Grant, that was a
Oh yeah,
physical game
oh
versus
yeah,
the
they're hitting.
49ers. So now you're coming off less rest versus a physical
Oh
game.
yeah,
I mean, hey, that's a helpful thing. Like the same thing, Packers were coming off a short week before too, last game, and I think that also helped the Vikings a bit. Sam Darnold played his best, had threw for the most yards in his career in that game, his career
yeah,
high. So I
yeah.
mean, that's
To
what you
cap
like to
off to
see.
Samber.
Yeah, I don't know what we go with January. I don't know how.
Get back to me next week.
Yeah,
I'll
no,
come
I
up
we
with
gotta
one
come
next
up.
week.
What's his middle name? Do we know what Sam's middle name is? I'm trying to think. It's hopefully it's something. It's like Jack.
Richard.
Oh, nope, not not close.
Of course, it's
January.
Richard. Samuel Richard Darnold.
Hey, it would have to be Samuary. That's really what it would have to be.
Yeah,
Samuary.
that's pretty good too. Yeah, go with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I just think though it's like the first half of the Packers Viking games last week. I was like, oh boy, Van Ginkel came to play.
Yeah,
Dallas
Gink got a
Turner came
Pro
to
Bowl.
play.
Gink got his first Pro Bowl
Well
selection.
deserved. Well
Yeah.
deserved.
Just want to say, hey, Vikings and Kwesi lost Daniil Hunter in this offseason. Kwesi replaced Daniil Hunter with two Pro Bowl guys.
Oh
The
yeah,
amount that they paid Grenard and Gink was less than they paid for Hunter. They also added Blake Cashman. I still think that was under the amount that the Texans paid for Daniil Hunter per year. Um, two of those guys should have been three, but two of them are Pro Bowlers. The two edge guys they got for that,
Yeah.
both Pro Bowlers.
Yeah, it's looking pretty nice. I also Pat Jones. Is he good? Is he good this week?
I think he might be out, but I mean Dallas
It's all
Turner's
right.
been
It's all right. It's all
looking
right. Yeah, yeah.
nice. Dallas Turner's
It's
been
all right.
good.
But regardless, the point is like Pat Jones back playoff time. Like that's four edges right there. You're quite comfortable. So not every team in the NFL has that luxury. So
No, they definitely don't. And that's kind of, I don't remember how long of a contract Grenard and Gink signed for, but yeah, give them extensions this offseason. You
yeah, and
make sure
I
they're
think
here
it
for a
works.
little more.
Like, hey, like Dallas Turner was already a bit of a project edge. Like,
And it's not like
he's
he's
still
not good.
growing.
He's good.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
is good.
yeah.
But
No, it's like Thule on the Chargers. It's like, hey, he's young, he's a raw talent, got physical tools and everything. You know, we're 3 years away from Dallas Turner being unleashed, but that's okay because you have
yeah, can
guys
we
ahead.
just speaking of the Vikings first round picks, can we stop all the JJ McCarthy trade BS that's going
Oh
on?
yeah, I've been
I know
seeing
you've
that
seen
so
that. Like
much.
what in what world would the Vikings want to do? Even if they bring Sam Darnold back and JJ sitting there, why
Yeah,
would
why
they
would they get rid of
want
him?
to get rid of him? Like what? The most that they're probably gonna do, Sam Darnold, they probably sign him 2 year deal. Like you're still gonna start JJ in at least the next two seasons at some point. Like Jordan Love, you think the Packers were gonna trade Jordan Love? Like
Also, like we're
no.
kind of teetering on the point where like Sam's playing like so well that like he might go get a Baker contract from
No,
somewhere.
he's going to. It's just
Yeah.
people have been
And
a lot of the media has been like, "Oh yeah, Sam Darnold, the Vikings want to keep him," which by the way, any information you get on the inside of the Vikings front office right now regarding anything that they're going to do is complete and utter BS. I guarantee you they have spent zero time actually looking at what they're going to do with Sam Darnold's contract because
yeah.
there's no reason to.
Yeah,
Um,
but I think though Vikings are gonna look good for this one. I think the big what I'm looking at the most is what KOC is about to cook up against the Lions defense because their defense does not look
it's
championship
going to be
level.
I hope the Vikings will win easily, but there's a good chance this becomes a shootout.
Yeah, I mean it's division rival. This is gonna
Yeah.
be empty the entire kitchen sink on both sides. Like
Yeah.
we're gonna see at least 8 plays from both teams that you have not seen all year. It's like what the
Yeah.
hell?
This is
Where
the game that you would think that Ben Johnson would save that fumble fake trick play for.
I think he specifically wanted to use that first to put that on tape.
I
Now
mean,
the
he
rest
would
of the
have had
season,
to.
if like Goff is a clumsy guy back there. He trips a lot. Whenever you see Goff trip now, you're like, it might be part of the play. So there's that, but also I think he was showing off to the Bears like,
No,
hey,
he was, but like the
more
Vikings
so that.
would have like bitten on that. Like they would have got us if they saved it.
Oh yeah, no, but I think he specifically wanted that on tape because it's like, hey, Jared, you can have trip. You're good, bro. Like they will not blitz run
But
commit
no,
if you
yeah, I
trip.
mean this game is huge. Vikings also have the most called like false starts against the other team in the NFL when they're at home. There's been I think 19 or 20 total false starts
Oh,
called. So home field advantage is very big for the Vikings at least. Um so we'll wrap up here though. Thank you guys so much for watching, listening, raise 5 stars. You can find us on Spotify, YouTube, Twitter, and on Instagram at Waterboy You can follow me on Twitter at Everett and at Waterboy Grant. We post new episodes every week on YouTube and all podcast platforms. We also post exclusive content on TikTok and on Instagram, so make sure to check us out there as well. And with that, see you guys in the next episode. Waterboys out.